Welcome to the world's most amazing branding service. And here is the incomparable Sol Alsina from Argentina. Take it away. Tell us what you can do for AMDs, please.
No, absolutely. And thank you so much for being here, especially William. This is going to be a private conversation. And if you decided to be here or either look and watch at this recording, it's because you want to be a bold doctor and you want to make sure that your vision takes new heights. So that being said, yes, I'm Sol Alsina from Argentina. I'm a global branding expert. Yes, I've been working with companies such as Coca-Cola and Lenovo, but that's not the most important thing that you should know about me. I also have experience with doctors like you, especially in medical tourism in Argentina and Europe, and I do care about your purpose and your vision. I do believe in you, for example, William, that you're here. I believe in you, Dr. Felix. I believe in you, Susan. I believe in you, Dr. Nimi. And that's why you're here today. So that being said, I will be sharing with you the formula, the yin and yang formula of marketing and branding. See how I'm dressed up today? That's because I'm going to be sharing with you the yin side of marketing, right? The emotional side of marketing and the rational side of marketing, which is the yang coin, right? Part of the coin of marketing. That being said, I'm going to give you a couple of facts and data here and why it's so important that design, good design, is actually not only good business, but it's also going to help you amplify your social impact, your purpose. Go ahead, doctor.
So I would just like to set the context for all the AMDs out there who didn't make it tonight. This branding is to set AMDs apart from all your local competition. If you want to stand out, as many of you have said in your course evaluation, that the local recognition of the AMD brand is important to you. Well, Sol here is the answer. And so take a listen, keep your eyes open, keep an open mind, see if you're bold enough to take on what she has to offer, okay? I did, and I loved it, and everybody who's seen it wants a piece of it, and so that's why we're here. So take it away again, please.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dr. Felix. And yes, that's right. I was saying that good design, it's actually good business, right? And this formula of yin and yang, the emotional side of branding and the rational side of branding, will help you scale your brand, but especially stand out, right? Because today's, I will tell you that 60% of patients will be looking you over the internet. That's number one. Second, design is actually the silent ambassador of your brand, right? Because everybody's going to be searching you online. So in order for you to stand out, good design, it's always the key. But it's not only what you offer, but 80% of consumer, actually 86% of consumers, especially patients, will buy your why you do what you do. That's why design and stories are so important to stand out in the market, to connect emotionally with your audience. So that being said, I will start by asking you one question. First of all, when somebody look at your website, right, why they will be choosing you over other doctors? It's going to be only because you offer them something different. It's because of the purpose behind your brand. It's because the colors behind your brand. Well, it's actually a combination of the three of them. First of all, again, 86% of consumer will buy you why. So if you see Dr. Felix website, we have been putting right under the tagline why he's doing what he's doing, right? So it needs to be in the front of the website. Then secondly, the most important thing is your personality as a doctor. How are you going to exude that on a website? Personality begins where comparison ends. If you really want to stand out from the crowd, then I will always ask you, what emotions do you want to spark at first glance? So according to the emotions you want to spark at first glance, for example, trust, for example, a wow effect, professionalism, joy, well-being, will be the colors that you will need to choose, because the color is actually it sets your soul on fire, right? It's really proven with psychology that when you choose the right colors in front of your audience, that's the emotion that you will provoke with the website, for example, and the story you tell. So I will be sharing with you. Can you please allow Dr. Felix me to share a screen, please?
Of course, yeah, sure.
Thank you so much.
Okay, here we go. Yes, you're on now.
Thank you. So I will be sharing with you what we have created with Dr. Felix in a minute.
And I want you to keep track of your gut reaction when you first see this, okay?
Yeah, there we have the wow effect of Dr. Felix. As you can see here, we have a story behind, and it's already very different from other doctors in the field. Why? Well, because first we have the storytelling behind and the color, right? The blue color over there, that it really stands to build trust and authority. Then we don't only have the story behind the video background, that it's really evoking trust and serenity, and it's very different from others, but it's also the purpose behind a spring the entrapped tiger in your genes to leap towards full potential. That being said, we also create authority by centralizing all the information of Dr. Felix in one place. So he creates authority because we can see here the guest appearances, the websites he owns, the epigenetic overview, the publications, media, and everything is in one place, okay?
So
We selected the blue color. Go ahead.
I'd just like to add that all the AMDs, you get to adopt any of this that you want, as well as to personalize your own unique persona into this 360 website that, if you so choose, Sol will design with you. So it's not like you're gonna have a tiger face yourself necessarily. And when I first saw this, I thought, wow, since when did I grow up here? I mean, it took a little getting used to, but there is not anyone who saw this didn't get impressed. And that's what you want. You want, oh my God, and it left an imprint, okay? This is unforgettable design. And my point I want to make here is that you get to choose your own persona. You get to work with her and come up with your own version while adopting any of the features and the authorities and the language in here that we have come up with. Okay, so back to you.
That is correct. That's why we choose actually the tiger, right? Because as I was saying before, good design is good business. And what we intend to do is to create a design that is memorable. Because everybody talks about branding and marketing. In branding, what's really all about, it's all your efforts to create perception, how you want to be perceived, right? So branding is what people say about you when you're not in the room. That being said, we needed to create a wow effect that really makes sure that sets Dr. Felix apart. This
Or
is a
Dr.
member.
William, or Dr. Nimi, or Dr. Kristen, or whoever.
That is correct. So that's what we use, what we call biomimicry, right? So what is the animal that identifies you with the service you provide and your why? For example, the tiger has, of course, a sense of protection. It has a sense of being, of course, very strong. And at the same time, that's the personality of Dr. Felix on one side. So we wanted to create the wow effect to welcome everybody to the Crouching Tiger's den, right? Then on the other hand, we created this get your best face and health with Dr. Felix Holistic Mouth Solutions. Now, what we did here is work with a very wow effect brand identity, asking Dr. Felix what emotions he wants to provoke on his audience. And of course, this really sets him apart from everybody else. And this is how people will say, I want this doctor against others or versus others, because he's creating a brand personality here that provokes the emotions of, for example, the music, right? Serenity. It's kind of like already in an image. We don't need to explain that much, because in an image, you can tell that the mouth is the protagonist of the tale. It's kind of like explaining the visitor, hey, your body can make wonderful music with your mouth as the maestro conducting the orchestra, right? Kind of like the sections of alignment, breathing, circulation, digestion, and energy. But nobody has this in the crowd market, right? That's why we decided to create this identity, the personality of the doctor based on the flowers, because every time you choose Dr. Felix, go ahead, doctor.
So can you imagine the talent behind this imagination that gets you the wow effect? I mean, I was wild when I saw this, right? I mean, who can come up, what kind of a mind can come up with this? And yet, once you see this, you're gonna stand out from all the other bland, blah websites that you've ever seen when you Google a doctor's office. It's just so different.
Yes.
All right. So
That's
this is what
correct.
branding is, right? What people talk about you in your absence. Behind your back, what's their impression of you?
That is correct, because that's what actually branding is. This side creates the impression of not only authority, because all his experience and publication, but it's also create the impression, the perception. That's what branding is all about. Your effort to create perception of a doctor that cares, a doctor that creates serenity, a doctor that is your choice to a new lifestyle. And of course, it's disruptive. You will not find him in any other place. That's why we created this wow effect branding. Again, 86 of patients will choose you if you have a good design. And that it's also an expression of that you care about them. Because as Seth Godin said, it's no longer about what you sell, but the story you tell. So this image over here, for example, it's already very different from others, doctors, because it's already telling you a story of the child's best face, a story of serenity, a story that the tiger inside him and the genes is possible. So this is why branding is so important, because at the end of the day, authenticity remains the timeless currency of trust. And if you are authentic, choosing your own, for example, we will say, I could choose a wolf like Dr. Susan. She's going to be a red wolf, and she's going to be having a different colors on her site. Why? Well, because she wants to evoke something different in her niche audience. which is also very important. William, do you have any questions so far about why it's so important to create a different personality and identity and really exude it right there on the website from the very beginning?
I do not have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, I have a good audience here so far. Thank you. Now, let's go over the brand style guide that we choose to Dr. Okay, the Dr. Felix. Here, Dr. Felix, we ask him, what is that you want to evoke when a visitor comes to your website? So he responded: trust, professionalism, stability, reliability, and serenity. The color to choose for his brand identity is blue, because the psychology behind the color is exactly what evokes trust, professionalism, stability, reliability, and serenity. For instance, this is why I'm using right now the blue hat today, because I want to make sure that the branding is cohesive. And in every single place that the doctor goes, he needs to wear the blue color. That's why the website is so important to also choose that color. Same thing with the green. The green is contributing to greater good because green represents natural growth and harmony. That's what we did with the blue and the green color on his site. On the other hand, font is extremely important. It really has a psychology behind. That's why we choose Carlson as his typography font. And on the other hand, the imagery, as he was saying, we need to make sure that evokes trust and a wow effect. This is exactly what we want to evoke, transparency. And this is why he's considering welcome to the tiger's dance. We choose a woman as well and a man to evoke a sense of inclusion, right, in his practice. So that being said, when we go over his site, we can really feel the blue of trust and stability. We can really feel the vibe of being different from others with this identity. And we can see that he cannot be compared because, again, personality begins when comparison ends. That's why we believe it's very important to build your identity first, your branding roots, and be bold, right? Choose to be different. Because again, 80% of people will choose you over others because of your branding identity and because you're why you do what you do. People buy your stories.
So hold
Go
it,
ahead, doctor.
hold it right there. Hold it right there. Hold it right there. Back up, back up, back up. Right here. So here, for example, we can customize it so that you, Dr. BJ, will be the authority in Eastern Kentucky for connecting your mouth with whole body health, right? So you get to name your area because you are trained AMD. You are, like I said in our training, the default chairman of your regional mouth department because your hospitals do not have a mouth department. So you are the authority in your area. So whoever you are, as long as you're a trained AMD, you get to claim authority in your area. And you get to adopt any of this language, any of these features, and customize your choice of animals, customize your choice of colors, and that's where Sol's expertise is. Did I get that right?
Yes, that is correct, because of course we need to customize this according to the niche, right? According to the target audience and according to the cultural and you know, what are the gains and the needs of each audience in each location, right? So according to the emotions we want to provoke, the connections we want to provoke. We will customize not only the brand message, but also the colors and the imagery of the website. The flow is going to be still the same because it's proven that at the beginning you start with the why, and of course you continue with the what you do and then the proof. We need to make sure that we include the authority panel over here, which are of course all the testimonials, the publications, and of course the stories, real stories about the well-being that you generate with the epigenetics healing, right? That Dr. Felix is the pioneer. So that being said, this is another clear, I would say, imagery that exude the emotion of, wow, this doctor has the disruptive solution that I never heard of, and actually was in front of my eyes. And now with this picture, we kind of like illuminate blind spots, because it's really, I will say that it catch eyes, right? Imagine your website as your house, right? It's kind of like your real estate agent. So people, when they kind of like walk around the digital space, they will need a wow website to really look and turn around their heads and say, wow, I'm intrigued, I want to enter there, right? It's kind of like the dating phase with you, where you need to create these, I would call it the love at first sight, right? Then when they enter the website, it's how you invite people to your practice, right? It's flirting with the patient, creating that love, that care by being different and by really being authentic. Because today, again, authenticity is the currency of trust. Everybody else is taken. And all the sites that I have seen and that we have been considering with my team are all the same, just a solid panel with white and blue, and that's all. They don't tell stories behind, or they don't have like a personality, like an identity where you really connect with your audience. Go ahead, doctor. Anything that you would like to share with them along the journey? How was the journey of branding identity with you?
Thomas J. Watson.
Yes, that is another one we have. So again, what is branding and why is so important? Well, like doctor says, the brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room, okay? And it's very important that we create that trust of creating the positive perception of your practice to stand out and really make sure that you stay in the patient's mind. That's why the tiger or the red wolf of Dr. Susan or the lioness of Dr. Nimi are really going to stay in the customer's mind. Because first of all, it's branding and the perception is already different. Go ahead, doctor.
Show them yours.
Well, mine is actually a wolf as well, and it's also a panda. That's mine. Mine is a wolf because the wolf, it's about intuition, it's about being powerful, it's about creating intrigue, and it's about loyalty. It's about really working in community. And I really believe in you. I believe in building communities. And that's mine, actually. So imagine when you are on your own location and people start saying to each other, have you connected with Red Wolf? Okay, the doctor that is called Red Wolf, and they really put the mouth as the protagonist of your own well-being. And there is no drills, there are no shots. Imagine building a community along that. You're no longer just Dr. Susan, you already have like a tagline where people remains memorable to you. And again, consumers said that they base their advocacy for an issue that they care about. You're all about well-being, you're about care. So when you have a sense of purpose on your website, you attract people who actually believe what you believe. That's why we also choose the mouth so differently, being kind of like a symphony of well-being. And we choose a mouth that really makes sure that flourish and it has flowers, because people will believe what you believe. And it's very important that we choose the imagery that makes you stand out. Now, that being said, I think this one, I said it many times, but I want to make sure that it's here. In a world of change, authenticity remains the timeless currency of trust. Now, what happened with the identifying your brand message? Well, again, marketing is no longer about the stuff you make, but the stories you tell. And with the website that is well designed, that is disruptive, that makes you stand out, that's the way you will tell stories. It's kind of like transcending screens. If you look at Dr. Felix's site, it really has a sense of transcending the screen. As you can tell with this imagery, we are already telling a story. It's already about the stories we tell, not only what we do. That being said, I have a very good tip of making design transparent. And that's about not only the layout and the colors and the user experience, but again, it's about being authentic. It's about building your own personality, because that's how people will choose you. For example, color psychology, selective and effective color palette. As I say, ask yourself, what are the emotions your personality as a doctor exudes when somebody visits your practice? Because it's really a power which directly influences the soul. Again, if I want to exude joy, for example, I will choose the yellow color. If I want to choose to exude, I don't know, trust, I will choose the blue color. Sophistication is the black color. Red is about action, love, and passion. So these elements are extremely important to create that first connection at first glance with your visitor. On the other hand, we have the typography, right? It's really a visual form to connect with them. And the three most important things in your website are usability, usability, and usability. That's why we did a landing page of 7 sections with the doctor, that everything is in one place. You don't have to go all over the place to find out who he is or where are the publications about. This is what we call the 360 site. This is all about him and the audience. Everything is in one place, and authority is right there. Lastly, I have a very good, I will say, visual storytelling, which is the future of marketing. And we created with him a website of 7 sections, right? Because right now, people, especially, I will say nowadays, we do not read that much. People today, they scan. So you want to make sure that you have the visual storytelling, and you create, first of all, a very bold headline and background video, the story you tell. The second element of the website in this flow that we suggest is the purpose, the golden why. That's how you connect with people. 80% of them will choose you because of that. Then you explain the services and the pitch, right? Then you have the story, the about you. And don't be afraid of actually telling people how you arrived to the position you are right now, the flaws. It's kind of like using the kintsugi art, right? When you talk about you, because it's not about being perfect. It's about really connecting with the audience. And I'm sure that we all have that connection with the audience on how you became the airway mouth doctor that they were looking for, because they needed to know where are your flaws as well. And then we need to put in the fifth panel, the proof, the authority panel, the clients, the patients, the testimonial, what we call the evidence panel. Then you move to the sixth element, the sixth, step on the journey, which is the offer, right? And then you close. But look at here. Why 7? 7 moments? Well, because we have 7 days of the week, because branding is the silent ambassador, and you want to make sure that you have these 7 moments to offer your visitor. It's short, it's sweet, it's precise, but at the same time, it's emotional. It connects, it creates authority. That's why we call it the yin and the yang of marketing, of this social tsunami of patients. You are going to consider emotion, and you're going to consider, of course, the rational side. That being said, I think social media is about sociology and psychology, guys. It's not about only technology. That's why we created this wow website, very different from others, for Dr. Felix. Any questions so far? I will be available when you are done watching this video. I will be more than glad to have free consultations with you, only 10 this month, because you are part of Dr. Felix community, to help you scale your brand. Dr. Felix?
No, I just want to make a comment that Sol actually has a vision for AMD to join together through this kind of website design that she and her team offers us AMDs, and create a tsunami movement on social media. So tell them more about that, please.
Yes, I believe that we need to build a community of, it's kind of like a social tsunami, right? Of different styles of branding and animals and this kind of flow, which really sets you apart from every other doctor out there. That's why if William, Dr. Zuzan, Dr. Felix, Dr. Nimi, and we can name more than 100 doctors, it starts to create this standout branding in each location. We will then create that social tsunami to connect and be memorable to patients. So they start spreading out the voice, getting to know, and creating the tsunami of different branding, right? So you're really memorable. You create the perception of being different.
So the more AMDs join in, the greater the tsunami effect.
In the visibility strategy, that is correct, because everybody will be talking about that, because it's already a wow brand identity, especially for mouth doctors like you. It's different. Nobody has these kind of designs out there.
Yeah, nobody.
No.
I really learned quite a bit after I connected with Sol after a referral from my coach, and I learned a lot in this process. I learned why doctors are boring, because there's no persona in their website. It's all about your credentials. It's all about, what we offer. Nothing about you come through in your office website. So this is about your personal 360 website, right? So explain how that's different, please.
Well, it's different because, Dr. Felix, actually, I'm your target audience, William, and for all the doctors listening to this session today. I'm actually a target audience. I need what you're offering. I believe in you. My mom needs what you're offering. And to be honest with you, the thing that happens to me and my friends, that I talk to everyone, is the fact that everybody's the same. I don't find that connection. It doesn't bring authority to me, right? because everybody's the same. So how do I connect with my pain? Because this is about pain. Everybody's in pain. So when you connect with them with a different story, with a different branding, they know already that you care because you're different. Not only what you offer in the epigenetic world and the methodology, but also the way you tell the story. We are dealing with emotions here. I mean, if I choose you over others, it's because I went to your site, and from your site, I already was like, wow, this doctor really gets me, not only in what you do, but the way you explain to me, the story you tell me. I'm in pain, I really cry. So please, from the moment I land to your personality, tell me that you care, right? Tell me that you care with the brand identity already from the very beginning. That's why it's so important. You create authority with me as a doctor, as the person. I choose you, not your credentials only. I choose your story. I choose the emotions you provoke on me. I choose the joy. I choose the trust. And that's through the branding.
I love Sol's analogy about this is a dating, romancing the patient process, okay? You're not trying to strong arm your future new patients. You're trying to land a lasting first impression that leads them to call you and say, I want to go to second base with you. I want to go third base. I want to go all the way into your office, become your patient. And this is how you get that process, romancing process started with an unforgettable, wow, first experience that is not just hot air, but authentically you. And Sol and her team are, in my experience, the world's best expert at this. I've never seen a website that quite does that. Can you imagine that can become yours in your area?
You're already conquering, right? At first glance or at first sight, you know, it's kind of like flirting. When you have, let's see, what we call the 360 site, which is about you, that's what we call the love at first sight, right? Then you can flirt with them when you really create that memorable, long-lasting impression. They say, wow, in this romantic journey to conquer the patient, you already conquered them with a website that it was top-notch, it was different, and they really created that first impression, and I would say it's a wow effect. Then you start, okay, now I want to go as Sol, I'm going to say, wow, this personal site, 360 site, I like the story, I love what he's doing, I love the why, I love the imagery. Wow, that brand identity is so different. It really gets me. Now, as a patient, I'm being conquered. What I want is, let's go flirting, right? And that's the website, the business website. And of course, then we have the email marketing, which is the nurturing phase, right? When we have a partner, right, what we do, we nurture, right? When you already conquer somebody, what you need to do is kind of like, how do I keep that love, right? That fire? We nurture them. We add value to them, right? We ask them questions. That's what we call the email marketing afterwards. So it's kind of like a romantic journey to conquer leads and patients. And nobody do this flirting nowadays, right? That's why it's, you know, everybody's the same and you have a lot of branding and marketing automation, but patients today wants you to be more human than ever. They want more love than ever. And you conquer them just not only with AI, but the most important component is that you become different and very human. Show who you are. Don't be scared to that, because you will have 80% of more patients. Guarantee you that.
Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up.